Alright, working on the Cougar today, 67. We are going to be changing the, not the ring gear, but the differential. So I have some bearings here. We have sealed bearings, pinion bearings. We're not going to use all of it because I think the rear end's actually been rebuilt at one point. So anything that is suspect will change. But we have a LSD here that we're going to be swapping out from Power Tracks. Let's get out of the box. So this is it here. That's what we'll be putting in. It's be a pretty straightforward job, as long as everything is cooperates. It should. Let's see here. Yeah. So we'll be dropping this in. Little bad boy here. So you got some, get rid of the peg leg. So it has posi. So we'll put the new bearings on both sides, put the ring gear on, so the backlash, fill it with diff fluid, and that's basically about it. So it should be pretty quick. Like I said, unless there's some surprises, which I don't think there is, but just in case. Just in case. All right, so I got the diff out. Looks like normal 8-inch Ford differential. So now I'll basically put it on the workbench and pull off the caps and swap the bearings out if need be, and then pull the ring gear off. Well, not swap the bearings out, sorry. These bearings will stay with this if it doesn't fit on the new one. And then I bought new bearings because I think this might be a different, the journal size on this diff might be a little bit different. So, but I do have those. So basically it'll be taking the caps off, pull the ring gear off, and then basically put it back together. So, alrighty. All right, so now it's come time to take off the caps. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. If this will do it. Not sure it will. Alright. One cap off. Two caps off, and then cap here, cap there.
Hold on one second. He'll probably say you can have it. Hold on. Hey, Julie.
All right, so here's the differential. This thing's tiny. It's a little 8-inch. Move this aside. So now I'm just gonna basically flip it over and pull the ring gear bolts off one by one. All right, got my socket. That's the right size. So now, knock the gear off. Let's see. Alright. There you go. That goes here. Ring gear is off. Wipe it down. And then we go grab the other, the new posi. And then what I'll actually probably do is I'm going to clean this up with solvent and the solvent tank, and then we're going to Loctite these bolts so they don't back out during operation. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so I got the ring gear separated, I got it cleaned, got solvent, I dropped it in the solvent tank to get the fasteners cleaned and the actual, the ring gear itself. So now I have to mount it to the new limited slip. It's right here. Let's see what we got. Alright, so this just goes, sets on here like so. Hopefully it doesn't fight me too bad. What I'm going to do is actually see if I can get one of these bolts started. I don't know if I can. Well, I don't think so. Let's see. What I want to do is get the bolt aligned, the hole and the bolt hole, the flange hole and the ring gear hole aligned, so that I can, when I do press it down, the threads won't be misaligned too bad. Turn it like this. If I can look at it while I compress it, it'll help. I think that might work. Got one bolt in. So let's see if I can get the other side in. So this is a brass hammer, so it won't damage the ring gear if I hit it with a hammer. Let's get the other bolt started. Yep. So now what I'll do, turn it back over and just give it some light taps. Rotate it around. So I think this is a 5/8, possibly, or 9/16. There you go. So looks like everything goes in pretty smooth. Like so. All right, so I like to run them down by hand just so I can feel if there's any damaged threads or any manufacturing errors. Everything seems to be pretty well machined. So now I'll take this and I'll give it a quick couple of blasts with the impact. Check to see if they're seated. Yep, the bolts are seated. Make sure they're not too long. So now I'll go ahead and pull them off. Okay, so I'll apply the Loctite and then I'll torque them down. You want to make sure that you torque them down before the Loctite sets up so it doesn't alter your torque values. So I'll do that now. And then after that, what we'll do is, so these are the bearings that I bought, the alternate bearings that are supposed to go with this carrier, because I don't think you can use the factory ones, and the factory ones are right, I think they're right here. So yeah, they don't fit. So, and I believe these are the ones for the, yeah, so these are the factory style. You can't use those. So, I'm gonna use these, and this is what they came with for the alternate part number. So once I Loctite it and put the bolts in, torque everything down, I'll press these on the press, and then basically put it back together. All right, so I'll do that now. All right, now time to press the gear. All right, it's done. New bearings, gears on. Here's our races here. Go just like this. You got this side, double checking for any debris. Everything's clean, it's good, smooth, fits good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is wipe the saddles down, and then we're gonna set the backlash between the gear, the ring gear and the pinion. So that'll be the next step. So this is gonna go in just like this. You know what? There's one thing I didn't check. I'm gonna do a sanity check this real quick. So I'm gonna make sure the axle's actually, the spline count is correct before I put this in. So I'm gonna go back and slide this on the axle, and I'll be right back. Just make sure before I get the car assembled. All right, so the axles do fit well, so just had to make sure before I put it in. Just want to make sure that I don't get everything assembled and find out it doesn't fit and you gotta take it back out. Oh, it sucks. Alrighty, so locking ring locks, I should say. Let's go like, put that to the side. So then I need to wipe the saddles down, make sure there's no goo on there. Alright, so that goes like this. So what I'm gonna do is just snug them down so that I can rotate the rings and adjust the backlash. And once I get it locked down, I'll lock the, torque these down, put the ring locks in, Loctite it, and basically start the assembly process. And it basically goes back together. All right, now it's time to set the backlash. We're gonna use a dial indicator with 1/1000 of an inch graduations. and it's gonna be magnetic with a magnetic base. So just gonna put the indicator right on the top of the gear, like so, just like that. We're gonna zero out the dial. So right now we got about 12, which is way too much. So we're going to use the screws to tighten up the backlash. So we're gonna loosen this side up. Whoa. Basically, if you loosen this side up, so the pinion's on this side, the ringer's on this side. You loosen the sides up, it allows the ringer to move closer to the pinion, which reduces the backlash. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'll back this out a little bit here. Then I'll double check it. So now we're at about 10. So that's about 10 thou. So we'll loosen up a little bit more. And then we'll tighten this side up. So my target is about 6 or 7. So let's see here. Right now we are about 5.5. So what I'll do is I'll tighten this side up going this way, and it'll do two things. It'll loosen up just a hair or push it back just a hair, but also keep these tight so they don't move. So we'll do. So here, it's like we got about 7. I'm pretty good with that. So yeah, so I set it at 6 thousandths. So we're good with that. I'm just gonna lock everything down, and then I might need to get a gasket for the third member. But the critical part of it's complete once I lock these down, torque them down to maybe 55 foot, 60 foot-pounds, and then Loctite these locking rings. These locking rings basically, they sit on top of the caps and they go in these holes and they prevent the screws from backing out. So I'll Loctite those in. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. All right, oops. Now it's time for the reassembly process. See this one? Yeah. Whew. That was a little bit of pain. Throw these washers on. Put a couple bolts on here. Just like that. Put both on this side so it doesn't fall off and land on me. And then finish up the assembly process. Whew. That was heavy, by the way.
Storm.
Cougar's done. Got the everything filled up, got the wheels torqued down to 110 foot-pounds. Drive shaft's in, U-joint straps are on. It's all sealed up. So now the only thing left to do is go to test drive it. So we'll do a very small burnout to make sure both wheels are spinning. But just by rotating the wheels, you can tell basically it's locked up. So if it's open differential, the opposite wheel will spin opposite direction. So the thing is, I was able to torque the wheels down with it in park and without even spinning. So without the other wheel spinning. So everything's tight. So now just gotta go take it for a test drive and see how it performs. I'm sure it'll perform really well. So all right, next video, test drive.